What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a quick little video about my 1990 Nissan 300ZX. And as I've mentioned many times, if you've been watching my channel, I'm doing a pretty big build on my car this winter. I have about 2-3 weeks of driving it before I park it and start on my build. So I just wanted to do a really in-depth review of how my car is as it sits right now. So I want to show you everything before I make the changes, and I'll do another video afterwards when I'm done to show you what the car is like afterwards. So I want to do a video right now showing you guys the car, how it sits right now, everything that's going on with it, and what I'll be doing. I'm not going to show you the parts and everything that I'm using and details about the build just yet. I'm going to do a separate video where I'm unboxing all the parts and stuff like that, and we'll go really in depth with that later. But for now, I'm going to show you my 1990 Nissan 300ZX. So let's get right into it. So this is the car right here. Exterior wise, I've pretty much done everything I want to it. I won't really be changing anything on the exterior. I love the way it sits right now. If you want to see more content about this car and the stuff I've done to it, and in-depth review about the wide body and stuff, check out my channel, hit the subscribe button. I have lots of videos going in depth with this car. They go over wheel fitment, my body kit, my interior, everything. So I'm not gonna go over that kind of stuff in this because I don't want to make repetitive videos, but I'm gonna go over basically the things I'll be changing this winter on this car. So make sure if you guys want to see the videos of all the changes that I'm doing this winter, you do hit the subscribe button. I'm going to put out a lot of content this winter regarding this car. So first things first, the biggest change that's happening this winter is under that hood. So let's pop the hood. Okay, so full disclosure here, guys. I'm not going to hide anything from you. As you can see, this engine bay is pretty nasty. Nothing's been done to this because I knew what I wanted to do with this, and I wanted to do it all at once. So I didn't even touch this yet. The only thing that's been done to this motor since I bought the car 2 years ago was the timing belt service. So the timing belt service is completely done. It needed a new battery a couple of years ago, so I put a new battery in it and I changed all the fluids. The only fluid I still need to change is the clutch, power steering fluid. Every other fluid, differential, all that stuff was all changed already. So as you can see, this is an NA motor. Where I live in Canada, it's pretty hard to find a clean example of a Nissan 300ZX that's left-hand drive and manual and a twin turbo. And if you do find it, it's just stupid expensive. I'm talking over $50,000, $60,000. No lie. I bought this car for about 12,000 Canadian dollars. It was an NA motor. It's a 2+0. That's a 2-seater that has no back seats. For those of you that don't know, it's a manual and it's left-hand drive. So the only thing I missed out on was the turbos, but I was willing to put that aside because the car only had 70K miles on it. So I thought I would do the turbo build myself and learn at the same time. So that's why I bought this car. That's what I'm going to be doing this winter. We're not going to swap the engine. This engine's in really good condition. Like I said, only has 70K miles on it, and it's been compression tested, so we are going to boost this NA motor. We're going to keep the high compression motor. We're going to boost it. We're going to run 93 octane. We're not going to do E85. And the reason for that, I know E85 is the best thing to do for a high compression turbo build, but I don't have access to E85 here in Canada, so we're going to do 93 octane and we're going to do it safe. Big details, in-depth details about that build are going to be in another video coming soon. I've been collecting parts for it for over a year. Most of the parts are brand new, but some things like a fan shroud and stuff and an AC condenser, because I do want to keep the AC. That kind of stuff you have to buy used, so I've been sourcing it. I have pretty much everything ready to go now. So I'm going to do another video shortly here to show you guys all the parts and all the goodies that are going to go into this car. So ideally what I wanted to do was pull the motor and do an engine bay shave, repaint it if it required it, and make it look, basically make the engine bay look as good as the rest of the car. Because the rest of the car looks freaking awesome. I wanted to be able to park it at a car show with the hood open and just, you know, just have it look amazing and perform amazing. But I think that's a little bit above my skill set. I'm pretty new to this kind of stuff. Even just the turbo build is going to be a huge challenge for me. I may be in over my head, honestly, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to break things. So I want to do as much as I can to this car myself because, you know, they get older and older. You want to be able to work on your car yourself. You don't want to rely on a mechanic every time because sooner or later you're just not going to have access to someone willing to work on your car when it's so old. And also there's satisfaction from working on your own car. And honestly, nothing beats working on your own car and knowing the ins and outs of it. And what's a better way to do it than do a complete motor pull and turbo build. So I don't think I'm gonna do the engine bay shave, but I will do a lot of the deletes like the EGR, plenum coolant lines and stuff like that, just to make it easier if I ever need to pull the motor or the plenum in the future. All those deletes as much as I can, I will do. I'll try to clean up this engine bay as much as I can. I don't think I'm gonna change the wiring harness. This wiring harness for the most part, it's in pretty good condition. That part won't change. But yeah, I'm gonna dress up this engine bay quite a bit while I'm doing that high compression turbo build. I'm not gonna give you details about the turbos and the exact turbo build and the parts yet, so stay tuned, hit the subscribe button for that. But yeah, pretty much to summarize, high compression turbo build happening this winter. Hopefully this time, well, not hopefully, I guess, because that means I can't drive my car anymore and it's snowing outside. But I'm guessing around this time in November, I'm gonna have this car parked in the corner of this shop here and I'm gonna begin my engine pull. I have about 6-7 months to complete it. Winter here where I live is about 6-7 months and you can't drive this car in the winter. It snows so much. So I'm probably gonna use 90% of that time to do this car. I'm gonna take my time with it because this is a pretty new project for me. So I'm sure I'm gonna break things. I'm sure I'm gonna mess something up. So yeah, I'm gonna take as much time as I possibly can to do this. So guys, if I end up being successful with this, that should be motivation for any of you to try this yourself too, because I promise I am not that mechanically inclined. I can do the odd thing here and there, like brakes and stuff, and you know, little things like that, spark plugs, little things, nothing crazy, but I've never pulled an engine in my life. This is gonna be my first. And I've never turboed a car in my life. This is gonna be my first, but I'm gonna do it. So if I pull that off, that's motivation for any of you to try it as well. I also have a couple leaks I'm gonna fix at the same time. I'm gonna fix my rear main seal. I'm 99% sure that's what's leaking. A pretty common problem in these cars. I don't think mine's ever been changed. It's still got the original clutch, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think anyone ever changed the rear main seal. I'm gonna try doing that myself. And I also have a power steering leak, I'm pretty sure. Also very common with these cars. I'm gonna change that. As many gaskets and hoses as I can at the same time. Fuel injector upgrade. It's a big build. It's gonna be everything, and I'm gonna make videos about all of it. Another thing I'm gonna be doing is the brakes. So about a month ago, I did the front brakes. I did the 350Z Brembo brake upgrade with rotors, stainless steel brake lines and all that stuff. If you've seen my video about that install, you know I messed up and I wasn't able to do the rears. I'm keeping the same calipers on the rear, but I bought some upgraded brake pads, and I also bought drilled and slotted rotors for the rear, and I'm doing stainless steel brake lines on the rear as well. So I'm gonna do that video. That's probably gonna be done first, very soon actually. I might even do that before I park my car in the winter, for the winter. I might do that maybe next weekend. I'll change out the rotors, the brake lines, and the brake pads, and I'll do an in-depth video about that as well. I'm gonna be doing a couple small things to the interior as well. So let me show you the changes I'm gonna be making there. So I love the way my interior is right now. I don't wanna change anything or put gauges anywhere that kind of takes away from the OEM look. Honestly, the only thing I'm kind of iffy about is possibly the steering wheel. It's a bit too beefy for me. It's a bit too thick. I did love it at one point, but with all this extra padding, it's kind of taking away from my view of the gauges, because as you know, you can't, the steering wheels in this car don't move up and down or anything. So, and I'm a pretty tall guy. I don't know, I might be changing my steering wheel. But for the most part, I love my interior. I don't want to change too much of it. But with the turbo build, I have to add some gauges. So I don't want to put a gauge anywhere on my dash right there. I'm just not a fan of that. And I also don't want to put a boost controller anywhere there. I know some people put a boost controller right where the digital clock goes for these cars, but I have a 3D printed little plate with my name on it instead, which I freaking love. So I don't want to put a boost controller there for sure. So what I'm gonna do is go with a boost controller that can be mounted over here in the pillar here. So all my gauges, I'm gonna install three gauges. and a boost controller. So actually one of those gauges is going to be a boost controller as well. So I'm going to install 3 things in total, and they're all going to be mounted right here on the pillar so it doesn't mess with any of the interior of the car. And because I'm going to use a boost controller that's fitted like a gauge, and I can mount it up here with the other gauges for a really clean look, I have to make use of my stock oil pressure gauge, which is in the dash there, because I can't mount one over here. I have to put like a boost gauge here and a boost controller and an AFR gauge. I want those over here, and it doesn't leave me with a place to put the oil pressure gauge. So also this winter, I'm gonna fix that oil pressure gauge. I know people say it's gimmicky and it's always a problem, and it's better to use an aftermarket oil gauge, but I don't think I have that option. So I'm gonna fix my oil pressure sending unit. I ordered a new one. I'm gonna put that on this winter as well and see if I can fix this oil pressure gauge that's built into the dash. Otherwise, nothing else is happening with this interior. I already have my subwoofers in the back, and my sound system's all done. My seats are all done, everything's done. Possibly I'll change the steering wheel, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. If I do change my steering wheel, I still have my OEM steering wheel. It was in pretty good shape. I just wanted the flat bottom because I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 6'3", and getting in and out of this car can be a problem for me. So it gives me a little more leg room with the steering wheel like that. But let me know what you guys think. Should I put my stock steering wheel back in or keep this one? Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Quick overview of the things I'm gonna be changing. Right now, this motor is completely stock. Everything in this engine bay is completely stock. Those little things right there that you see, those are my ballasts for my HIDs. I just zip tied them into place right now because I knew I was going to be pulling my engine when I did that install for the lights. So I'll be cleaning that up when I pull my engine and mounting them somewhere proper. But yeah, everything's completely original right now. It runs like a 1990 NA motor. Nothing's been done to it. It does have an aftermarket exhaust. I'm not 100% sure what the exhaust was from the previous owner. I didn't change it. I believe it was a MagnaFlow exhaust. All I did was add a resonator to it because it was very raspy and sounded like crap. So I added resonators. Now it sounds a little more throaty. And then I just fabricated some exhaust tips there, so it looks good with a twins diffuser. But I'm not going to be changing my exhaust. I'm going to keep this one, see how it sounds. Maybe I'll change it afterwards, I'm not sure, but this winter I won't be changing my exhaust. I'm just going to be getting the downpipes, test pipes, and then everything else is going to stay the same. So yeah, that's pretty much what you can expect this winter to see. Big time engine bay build. A lot of videos regarding engine dress up, how to make your engine bay look amazing, how to turbo your Nissan 300ZX, how to do all the deletes, change gaskets, change your hoses to silicone hoses, stuff like that. Change your fuel lines, your fuel injectors, change your clutch to a high performance clutch, rear main seal, everything. Like, I'm gonna be doing everything this winter. If you wanna check that out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna be doing, all engine bay stuff and some transmission stuff, and then the brakes that I showed you guys on the rear. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to give you an update of what to expect and how my car is right now before all those changes. I wanted to show you the engine bay and stuff before I take it apart. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.